welcome back to Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey. I am Austin.
And I am Aubrey.
Now, Aubrey, what is Boss Fight exactly?
Well, you see, Austin, and dear listeners, Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey is an advice show where we, the greatest sage and greatest battle master of all time, give you the tips, tricks, and strategies you need to defeat the biggest boss fights in your life.
Sure is. And you know what, Aubrey? This Thanksgiving season, I sure am thankful for all of our wonderful, incredibly loyal listeners who tune in every week across the globe
And even beyond the globe.
to listen to our show.
All the way out there from Galactor Prime all the way to Daddy Jupe. Everybody is listening to Boss Fight, and we just want to say how thankful we are for you.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic to have so many things to be thankful for in the podcasting world. Tis the season, so they say. Anyway, on this, our Thanksgiving episode extravaganza, Thankathon, I thought, Aubrey, it might be entertaining and maybe a little prudent, honestly, to sort of line item all the Thanksgiving foods and talk about how we would defeat them if they came to life.
I think
Because
Yeah.
there's so much food on that table that if it were to animate without proper preparation, I mean, where are we? We'd be at a loss.
you'd be caught unprepared and probably empty-stomached, and you wouldn't know what to do. And so we're here to help you out because, we thought about it. We were like, well, we could have a tournament in which they fight each other if they came to life, and no, that's no fun. We need to prepare you, the listener, in order to fight the Thanksgiving foods just in case they find some form of sentience and decide that they want to eat.
I think it's an important stipulation that we say that you can't just eat the food, right? Because food is sentient. Food's not going to go down willingly. You can't just be like, well, I eat it. No,
you're not.
Dummy.
You try to take a bite of that stuffing, it's gonna lodge itself in your throat. It's gonna instantly choke you out. That's what it's gonna do if you try to eat it. It's gonna block your windpipe. That's its goal. It's gonna try to taunt you to eat it.
And every Thanksgiving table is a little different, so we're just going to try to cover the whole spectrum of foods, and hopefully all of our variety of listeners, even those on Galactor Prime and Daddy Jupe, will be properly prepared for whatever their family brings to the Thanksgiving table.
All right. Do you want to start small and go big to like start with cranberry sauce, and then go to turkey, or which way? Which way you want to go?
I was thinking that we start like the mains, and then we work our way
To like the
down.
sidekicks. All right. That works with me.
So first up on the agenda is turkey, right? Turkey is the center of the table. It's going to take up the most weight. It's going to take up the most space because that's a big bird.
The good news about fighting a turkey that becomes sentient is that we already have turkeys. We already have live turkeys. And so we already put them to the dead state. We took them from the alive state and we put them to the dead state once. So I'm pretty sure we can do it again. This one's just a little more angry because you already cooked it.
Yeah.
And that's really what you have to fear.
I think it is important that we draw on real life references, right? We know turkey. Turkey exists in the world. We can fight turkey, no problem. But cooked turkey, it's almost like undead at that point, right? So what does it have to fear? Not death. It's already died, right?
I have seen the other side, and it is nothing.
Yeah, like what does it have to live for at that point? You've already cooked it. You were gonna plan on eating it. That turkey comes back to life. It's not gonna go down willingly, and I mean that literally. It's not going to go down your digestive system and be turned into poop. Okay, it doesn't want that.
Very eloquently put there, Austin.
Yes, I mean, this is the situation that we're in. This turkey has nothing to lose and everything to gain.
All right, so you've got yourself an undead turkey, and so if it's undead because you've already killed it and you've brought it back to life, and this also kind of goes for ham as well, right? I think we can just group these into the same category. I think we can just say
I think that's
main
fair.
meats, right? Because my family has both, which is a little bit terrifying. I know some people prefer one thing over the other, and my family is just fat and decided, hey, let's do both. But that's beside the point. So we've got turkey and ham. Either way, they become undead creatures out to get you. And so in order to defeat the undead, of course, the first thing you have to do is you have to have 2 big cans of salt on you at the same time. Because what I've learned from Hocus Pocus, the only real Halloween movie I've ever watched, is
True.
that if you pour a ring of salt around yourself, witches and dead things can't touch you, and you're safe. So that's step number 1.
Also, the turkey doesn't want to be seasoned anymore because it knows that it's already been basted for a long time, and that's going to upset the balance. So it's not gonna mess with that salt.
Yeah, might also put it into a bit of a rage. I know that this only works for vampires, but sometimes when things come back, they're vampires. Sometimes they're skeletons. Sometimes they're ghosts. Sometimes they're zombies. It just kind of depends on the situation, right? And you never know when this turkey's going to come back. So if in case it's vampire undead turkey, just make sure that you stuff it with some garlic beforehand so you can get the upper hand.
Very important to season that thing with garlic, because that's going to neutralize a lot of its powers if it is a vampire when it comes. I like some garlic, so that's a win-win for me. That turkey doesn't come back to life, I get a nice garlicky, tasty turkey. And if it does come back to life as a vampire, well then, I mean, I've already won at that point. Yes?
Yeah, good news is that can't come back as zombie because it doesn't have head. No, it can it?
Well, but think about, like, the Headless Horseman.
But a Headless Horseman's a phantom.
Okay, well, what if we have a phantom turkey?
Oh, fuck. What if it's a phantom turkey?
What if the turkey doesn't come to life in the traditional sense? What if that meat on the table stays where it is? But what if the turkey's ghost, this phantasmal turkey, manifests itself and starts trying to haunt your table?
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. How do you deal with that?
If a turkey haunted the table, what would its goal be? Just to make your Thanksgiving less fun?
I feel like a turkey haunting a table would be kind of like a poltergeist, you know, just throwing dishes everywhere and making it so, like, all your glasses tipped over and you got liquid. I feel like it would just be, like, kind of a trickster.
See,
but, like, an angry trickster.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like a trickster, but I think that maybe the ghost of the turkey that you're eating is the one that's just, like, goes behind your Aunt Karen and is just, well, your mom's name. Never mind. I gotta find a different one. That goes up behind your Aunt Cheryl and is like, you should ask Austin if he's gonna have kids soon.
Oh, it's the turkey every time.
It's the turkey. It's the turkey causing all the family strife because you took it away from his family and now it's gonna tear your family apart.
This is very sinister because that question sucks, right? And it's never satisfying, right? They're never going to be satisfied with the answer. If you're in a place where you're not seeing anybody, you know, you're always going to get the question like, so how's the love life? What's you know, like, it's they're going to be nosy about that. And then you start seeing someone and they're like, "Ooh, do I hear wedding bells in the future?" And then you're like, "Okay, well, no, we're taking our time. It's only been a couple months." And, well, I just, you know, time is ticking. I'm like, I'm in my young 20s, but okay, thank you. But then, like, and then you finally do get married, and then they're like, well, what's next on the agenda? Like, why aren't you popping them out? And then you get one, and they're like, well, where's the other one? Like, there's no satisfying those questions.
And that's why the turkey does it. The turkey knows it. The turkey phantom is making sure that...
The fan turkey.
the fan turkey, is haunting your Thanksgiving, making sure that you are uncomfortable at all times. So gets Aunt Cheryl to ask you all those questions, goes up to Grandpa Hubert, and is like, the Jews are making a real mess of the economy, aren't they? And then he says something awful, and then, because everybody knows, everybody's got a racist grandpa. And all kinds of, well, I guess in that case it'd be anti-Semitic, but you get the point. There's always something going on. And then probably goes up to one of your other aunts and then reminds them of some childhood memory, like, remember when you stole Kathy's earrings in the 12th grade? And then they get into a fight with each other. It just happens all the time.
I think it's important to note that turkey is going to kind of eat at your
psyche.
Yeah, like they're really going to pick apart your family and turn them against each other. So it's actually not the turkey really doing the dirty work. The turkey just kind of sets it up and then lets the dominoes fall, and then everyone is fighting everyone, right? It's done its job.
The turkey's greatest strength is turning others against each other. That's the turkey's great.
But therein lies the weakness, I think. Because, say you've got ham, right? Your family shares, the table shares turkey and ham. I have to imagine that turkey, as the poster child for Thanksgiving, doesn't necessarily like that, is not going to take that lying down, right? I mean, it's already dead, but...
Yeah?
So I think before the turkey turns your family against itself, you have to redirect and say, hey, turkey, don't you think it's kind of bullshit that on your day there's also ham here? Like, what's that about? What is ham doing?
Get turkey and ham into a fight.
Exactly. You have to turn them against each other before they can cause any damage.
And then Turkey Phantom, Fan Turkey, is tied to this earth through its body. So once you finish eating all of the meat, you just have to get rid of the bones, and then Fan Turkey can't haunt your Thanksgiving anymore.
And ham has got a score to settle, because it's like, yeah, but I'm way more tasty. So, I mean, what do you do for Thanksgiving, turkey? You're just a fat bird that people are like, oh yeah, it's Thanksgiving time, but I'm actually the tasty one. Like, ham is objectively better, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like ham, like, get that nice honey ham. It's not dry. It's not like, it's crazy to me. And it's better left over the next day on your Thanksgiving sandwich.
That's also very true.
Like, I don't understand why turkey...
I'm glad we've had this talk.
Yes.
You want to move on to the next sentient thing, though?
Yes.
Because
I can't... I'm gonna get really worked up if we keep going into how bad turkey is.
Yeah, we don't need another alphabet scandal kind of thing.
Oh, God.
That wasn't good. I don't want to have to bring in the king of the turkeys and king of the ham into the studio again.
Okay, we'll move on. We've got turkey and ham, so what's next up on the list?
It looks like the next thing is stuffing.
Stuffing.
So stuffing comes to life on your table. The thing that I most imagine it as is either A, Slimer from the Ghostbusters, or B, like Grimer or Muck from the Pokemon universe.
So, it is interesting that you say this, because my family's stuffing and my wife's family's stuffing look very different. So, my family's stuffing is... I mean, obviously, I ate it growing up, and all of my stuffing experience has been this stuffing, so
right.
That's my reference point. But it feels like the more traditional, like if you were to get a box of stuffing at the store and make it, it's like that kind of stuffing. Like the bread with a little bit of, like, celery and onion, and my family put, like, mushrooms in it sometimes, but it's like that. It's got some of that crisp on the bread, but it's like nice and soft on the inside. Like, does that track for you? Is that what you think of when you think stuffing?
Okay, when you explain it, is it just like a bread, or is it like a bready substance that's all
It's like
mixed
a
up?
bready substance,
Okay,
right?
then
It's all
yes, we're on the same page.
it's all seasoned up and it's got some other stuff in it. So that's what I think of when I think stuffing. I think the traditional stovetop kind of stuffing.
Yeah. What's Kirsten's family stuffing like?
Nasty.
Okay.
It's they make it in a crock pot and it's
Okay.
yeah, already bad. So they make it in a crock pot and it's like a little more like corn based. So it's got corn in it and then
Okay.
they put meat in it sometimes.
Okay.
And I want to say it's like chicken. So like it's not even like it's a weird corn slurry. Like it's way more liquid than I think stuffing should ever be. The family
Okay.
likes it for some reason,
Okay.
and I can't think of a world in which I look at a crock pot and I hope that there's stuffing inside it.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I'd rather talk about real stuffing, which is what
I would too
we
because
eat.
this
But
this
then,
stuffing is already an abomination.
at the same time, which one's more likely to come to life and try to kill you? It's definitely
Well,
the gross stuffing.
Yeah, and because when you said grimer and muck, that's exactly the consistency of this stuffing.
Okay, I wasn't thinking that consistency. But I was thinking
You
like
were
the
just
shape.
thinking shape, but no,
Yeah.
what you said is very accurate to what this stuffing is.
Okay,
And I
that's
think,
gross.
And even if eating were an option, I wouldn't want to do it because it's bad.
Okay.
We've got to come up with another strategy for taking down this stuffing abomination. I mean, do we just show it real stuffing and make it feel bad about itself because it's not what it should be? I mean, if we are continuing the Pokemon analogy, we just got to get a type that's super effective against it, right? So I think it is poison. I think it is poison type, definitively. It's gross. It's nasty. It looks like a Grimer or a Slimer.
What is the opposite of poison type? You need to help me out here because it's been a while since I played the Pokemans.
So the things that are super effective against poison are ground and psychic.
Okay. All right.
Two very weird sort of choices to fill that mold.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, but it's fine. We can roll with that. Ground or psychic.
we can get ground and we just like, I don't know, throw dirt on it.
Ew.
Or because one of the most powerful ground type moves is earthquake, we
You
could
just shake it a lot?
Oh, that's better than I was going to say. You actually cause a shift in the faults underneath the core of the earth, and then you actually trigger an earthquake. But what you said is probably effective too.
Just shake it really, really hard.
Just shake it really, really hard. Like pick up that crock pot and like upturn it and just.
If there was a Thanksgiving food that was a psychic type Pokemon, what Thanksgiving food would it be?
You know, So there's a Pokemon in third generation that was it was Spoink and Grumpig, which are like psychic pigs,
Yeah.
and we do have a ham on the table.
Ham's busy taking down turkey.
That's true. Okay, we gotta come up with another one.
I think, personally, it's mashed potatoes. And hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out why
yeah.
I think it's mashed potatoes and gravy. Because the fact of the matter is, I eat a lot of mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. I eat a lot. And I keep going back for more, even though I know without a doubt that is the last thing that I need to be eating on the table. It's just like every time I walk by it, I'm like, I can get a little more mashed potatoes on this plate. I don't need more mashed potatoes. I don't need more of anything, but I definitely don't need more mashed potatoes. It's pure starch and carbs. It's just going to bloat me up, but I can't help myself. I just feel like mashed potatoes gets into my head and makes me eat it. It's just like, how about you eat me? I'm right here, and I look so good. And it's a little creepy, but it gets me to do what it wants me to do. Is there anything else for you that does that, just out of curiosity? Just so I can know a little bit more about you.
Oh, it's rolls.
Oh, rolls is good, too.
Like, I'm always grabbing rolls.
And rolls is kind of like a ground type, too, in the way that it's round. It kind of looks like Geodude or Graveler or Golem.
Made out of wheat, which
comes from the ground.
Yeah.
Unlike everything else on the table, because green beans don't come from the ground, and potatoes don't come from the ground, and
no, they don't.
No, they don't.
I think rolls could also fit the bill for psychic type, because if rolls were to come to life and fight, it feels like the basket of rolls would start to all the rolls would lift up out of the basket
float
and hover.
Then they shoot at you.
Yeah, and there would be sort of like a hive mind, like all these rolls are floating individually, but acting in sync together.
We are rolls.
We are roll. You will submit to roll. I think between rolls and mashed potatoes, which
I think we go with rolls.
Now, well, here's what I'm going to say. If rolls come to life, if mashed potatoes come to life, it is my personal opinion that they would not choose to fight us. And here's why. Because rolls and mashed potatoes are not exclusive to Thanksgiving. Rolls and mashed potatoes are a year-round favorite, and I don't think they're going to give up that status.
Good point.
Right? Because when Thanksgiving is over, we're still going to eat rolls and mashed potatoes. Like, some of these foods on this table we'll never see again until the next year. But rolls and mashed potatoes will always have a place on my table, regardless of season. I think it's easy to recruit them to our side and have them take down this gross stuffing menace.
And I like how we did preface this whole episode with, we didn't want to see which foods would fight each other and win. We wanted to go with how we beat the other foods. And so far, 2 out of the 2 foods that we've chosen that we're going to fight, we've just pitted them against other foods.
Now, I hear you. However, ham and turkey are not on our side. We just kind of redirect their anger. Right,
that's a good point.
They're going to fight each other.
That's a good point.
Rolls and mashed potatoes, if you put in the groundwork throughout the year, throughout the story, the campaign of your life, you can recruit them to your side for the final fight.
That's a good point.
Right? We've laid the groundwork, and now we have rolls and mashed potatoes in our party. Right?
That's a good point.
So,
okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Next on the list, I'm going to say salad, and that's just because of a very easy one, which is I do the same thing I do with salad every Thanksgiving, which is ignore it, and it goes away. And that's how you defeat salad at Thanksgiving. Cranberry sauce. The bad Jell-O, as I like to call it around Thanksgiving.
Now, a little about me and my Thanksgiving experience. I actually do like cranberry sauce, and I am talking straight out the can, still in the shape of the can, cranberry sauce.
Okay.
I like it. I don't know why. But if we're fighting it, I feel like it has kind of an advantage, because if it's still in the can, it's got armor.
Let's say it's already on the table, right? So you've taken it out of the can, is my thought process. It's on the table, and then all of a sudden, it all comes to life, and you gotta fight it all. Okay. Right? Cranberry sauce is out of can. Cranberry sauce probably turns into the size of the room and tries to drown you in its own thing, like a gelatinous cube.
It is a
gelatinous cylinder.
Exactly.
And it just kind of grows and engulfs you, or something like that.
And here's the trouble, as it is with all gelatinous cubes and jellies and the like, is it's resistant to slicing, right? Because my family slices up the cranberry can sauce into discs and serves it that way. So it's not phased by being cut, because it's just gonna replicate, right? You're just gonna have more cranberry sauce to deal with if you try to cut it up. It's gonna try to envelop the whole size of your room, and you can't just cut it to pieces, because then you just got more jellies to deal with.
You gotta smash it with your fist.
Yeah, you gotta get crushing damage on it.
Take the entire ham, use it as a club, you know, or 2 drumsticks of a turkey and beat it senseless.
You can also use the wishbone as sort of a fist weapon and like stab it as you punch it.
Yeah, piercing damage works. Just
Yeah.
kind of, but you gotta just use what else is on the table all around you. Maybe you just pick up one of the smaller children from the children's table and use it as a weapon against the cranberry sauce.
Or even you use them as bait.
Yeah. Hey Timmy, I just need you to scream around this corner and I'll be hiding and then I'm gonna beat it to death with this ham leg.
Now you have to be careful because if you do bait it with too many children, like it'll eat them all, right? And then it's gonna grow in size because children aren't easy targets. So you have to intervene before it makes its way over to the kids' table.
I thought that was automatically part of the plan, but if you think to build its confidence it should take at least one child, then I guess that's okay.
No,
just as long as it's the annoying one.
I'm just saying that we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can get rid of your annoying little cousin, and then also lure the cranberry sauce into a false sense of security.
Cranberry, the cousin killer.
It was a tragic accident. There was no way to prevent it. I'm so sorry for your loss, Aunt Debbie, but your son sucked.
Anyways, Aunt Debbie, here's some turkey and some green bean casserole. What about green bean casserole?
What about green bean casserole? So, I think green bean casserole has sort of a layer of... It has almost like an exoskeleton, right? Because it's got those crunchy onions on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna lead with those. So I think green bean casserole lifts up out of the dish and begins to fight you. You've got to find a way to flank it, right? Because only the front is going to have that crunchy armor, that exoskeleton.
But the
so you've
back
got to go
is going to be squishy,
straight to the back and get those squishy green beans. You cut those open. I mean, all the pods fall out, and everybody knows that's where the power comes from.
Have you worked on your teleportation lately? That's necessary. You can't, because it'll just turn as it floats. So you either have to have the distraction technique, i.e. whichever small children are left, and then you strike it, or you just, pop up behind it, nothing personnel, kid, and then destroy it.
Exactly. And it is important that you work on your teleportation because God knows at this point your family is of no help, right? Thanksgiving food has become sentient and is terrorizing the table. Who in your family is really going to stand up to that? It's all on you. You're flying solo.
Unless they're also boss fight listeners, they're not going to do anything.
Okay, that's another important note, is that in order to properly prepare for Thanksgiving fiasco, you need to get your family to listen to the show. That's not coming from a place of selfishness. That's coming from a place of you need everyone in your life to be prepared
for any fights.
And this is the only way to do it, is to have them listen to the show, starting with episode 1, and maybe leave us a review.
But maybe not episode 1.
Okay, you're right. Maybe not episode 1. Don't do episode 1.
Maybe part of episode 1. The audio quality is just not good in episode 1. Is the issue. Hit me up about what about that sweet potato mix with the marshmallows and the ooey gooey goodness.
Sweet potatoes are a tricky one, I think, because they are so loaded up with marshmallow and brown sugar that they're going to be real sticky. Like, you have to keep your distance or you're going to get sucked in and stuck to. Like, hands down. There's no avoiding that. You get caught, you're done.
So it's a distance game. It's a ranged fight.
Yes, you're gonna need to take out your range. You're gonna need to keep your spacing. So
what weapon does good against sweet potatoes? Unsweet potatoes?
I mean, mashed potatoes are already taken, right? They are.
Maybe rolls can handle it itself. Maybe rolls can. What I'm trying to say is, one of my favorite things to do as a child, which was not an okay thing to do at all, was to take a spoonful of mashed potatoes and flick it at my sister and my brother.
Excellent.
That was a very fun thing to do once before I wasn't allowed to do it anymore.
Of
right?
course,
But
yes.
you can get it out once per Thanksgiving. And then, since we had mashed potatoes at Christmas, once per Christmas. So, it's fun, especially when you get the plastic forks that have a little bend to them, you know? Not the forks. Plastic spoons that have a little bend to them. So if you can just do some scooping of the regular potatoes, the good old creamy mashed potatoes, and flick them to the sticky sweet potatoes from a long range, then I think you've got it.
Yeah, I think you need to fashion yourself some sort of mashed potato trebuchet.
Yeah, my mom might be mad at me still for doing all of those things to torture my younger siblings, but really I was just preparing for the big fight that was coming.
Exactly. Yeah,
I was getting on that grind, you know? Leveling up.
This is less of a sort of mano a mano fisticuffs fight and more of a raid, like a siege kind of thing.
Like a shootout, you know?
Yeah. This is long range. You're going to have to and the thing is, even if the sweet potatoes don't come to life, you're not going to have time, if they do, to react. So you're going to have your trebuchet already ready to go, just in case.
Yeah, so you're eating with one hand, right? You got a fork in one hand, you're stabbing the turkey, and you're eating it, getting a scoop of stuffing, a green bean casserole, whatever. And the whole time in your left hand, you just got a spoonful of mashed potatoes, just kind of chilling there as you're eating, and people are like, dude, why do you have one spoon of mashed potatoes? And then you just look at them dead in the eyes and you go, just in case, and then you go back to eating.
And I guarantee at that point no one's going to want to talk to you, so that kind of avoids the family point. So
there you go. All you gotta do is that. I think we just beat sweet potatoes. What about mac and cheese?
So mac and cheese is an interesting one.
Mac and cheese.
So I put mac and cheese on the list because I have heard that a lot of people associate mac and cheese with like holidays, like it's always part of the table, and I guess that's true. Like mac and cheese is just good, right? So
no, yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, but I don't think of it as a holiday food. I just think of it as a good food that happens to also be there, right?
Yeah, I get it.
So, I mean, mac and cheese may be already of the status, like, year-round favorite, could be recruited. However, we've already got a full party, right? So there's no room for mac and cheese. We've got rolls, we've got mashed potatoes on our side. So mac and cheese did get the short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fair, because rolls and mashed potatoes are better left over than mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is not good left over.
That's pretty true.
So who are you going to want on your side next day? I'm gonna slather those mashed potatoes on a roll, grab some of that ham, and I've got my Thanksgiving sandwich. Like that's there's no room for dry, almost crunchy mac and cheese at that point.
I do dislike the crunchy mac and cheese.
Like,
but my question is, when it comes to life, how do you beat it?
So we're gonna have to come up with a strategy to beat it, because there's no recruiting it. Like I'd much rather have rolls and mashed potatoes on my side. The problem is it's very flexible, right? Because it's noodles.
And ooey gooey, cheesy goodness.
Ooey gooey, cheesy goodness. Correct. So because it's so flexible, you're gonna have to find a way to speed up the leftovers process. Because mac and cheese is bad leftover. So if you get it there quicker, it's not going to be in a state to take anyone on. It's going to be hardened and like dry and grainy. Like the cheese sauce is going to be grainy if it's like that homemade kind of cheese sauce.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Can we just
get double hair dryers and make it dry out sooner?
Yeah.
I could do that. You could trap it in the fridge if you could. You know, like open up the fridge and have a red sheet like you're egging on a bowl, and then it charges at you, and then bam, you're in the fridge. Shut. Oh, but there's no Tupperware, so you're unprotected.
Yeah, then it's gonna get freezer burn, and then it's all over for mac and cheese at that point.
Yeah. You could do that. I don't think it's strong enough to necessarily escape.
No, and it doesn't quite have the same,
Strength.
gooey flexibility as potatoes or weird liquid stuffing because it's got noodles. Like noodles can't squeeze through.
It's got oodles
gaps.
of the noodles.
Yeah, it's got oodles of noodles that aren't going anywhere.
Pies. All the pies. Whatever pies you have at your Thanksgiving. The pumpkin pies, the pecan pies, or pecan. If you're one of those people that say it pecan, then, chocolate pie. We have chocolate pies.
Yeah.
All kinds of pies. How do you defeat pie? Well, the answer is very, very simple. But I don't know it.
Okay. So pie's going to be tough to take down because it's the thing I love the most, right? I don't want to slay it. It really is
a psychological battle, isn't it?
Right.
Because you're like, Pie, I thought we were best friends. You're my favorite thing here. You're what I've been waiting for all day. And now you're trying to kill me. That does not seem fair, Pie.
But Pie's not going to be swayed by your pitiful pleas because it's pie. It's got a lot of options on the table, right?
It could be eaten by anybody. It could be anybody. Anybody's pie.
Everyone loves a pie, and it knows it. It knows that it's loved by all. And so it's not going to stand for some, family that is too concerned with politics and anti-Semitism. Like, it's not...
And, I mean, look at all the powers that pie has. It's infinite. It goes on forever. There's always more to pie, right? It's one of those things.
Right.
Its best friend is a tiger, and they chill out on a raft with each other all day. So pie is an all-powerful being with a tiger buddy. Really, the best way to defeat pie is to let it go, I think, maybe. Worship it. I think worshiping it would be good. That could go one of two ways, as we know from the Spanish conquistadors, that if you worship them as if they're gods, they'll either murder all of you guys, or, you'll live long enough to see the end of civilization. I don't know. It's just, that's a thought. Pie's too powerful, Austin.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I think there are some boss fights that you don't win by...
in a traditional
defeating.
Sense of actually defeating.
So I think this is one of those conflicts that you have to avoid because while, much like salad is not worth your time, you're not worth Pie's time. Exactly.
It's just true.
I hope and I pray that Pie never comes to life because one, it's the end of days if that happens, and two, it's just delicious and I'd like to eat it. I'd rather eat it.
Just know that if Pie does come to life, you cower in fear, you apologize for destroying all of its ancestors, then you just hope that it doesn't kill you outright then and there.
And I don't think it will.
I think Pie's a forgiving god.
I like to think of Pie as pretty benevolent, but not going to waste any time,
It just instantly ascends. If your Pie just instantly ascends into the clouds, you know what happened. All right, so that's our Thanksgiving. Welcome to the Wacky Hybrid Creature Corner. Spelt with K's. Episode... Oh.
What happened?
Oh, man.
Again? Okay.
We're already past time.
Okay, well, let's make this quick. What's on tap for today?
All right. Boop.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, so that's all of the Thanksgiving food being Voltron together into one giant Thanksgiving food monster.
Cool. Okay. So let's...
We are Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Give thanks to your new Thanksgiving overlords.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Thanksgiving Overlord.
The carcasses that you feed on are now your gods.
Okay. Hey. That's great. Thank
Your
you.
grandfather is anti-Semitic.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page about that one. I feel like I'm okay. I'm okay with us being on the same page on that one. Can you just give my friend here and I a second to prepare a Thanksgiving ritual in your honor? Yes, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
I shall sit on my Thanksgiving throne, made purely out of wishbones of dead turkeys.
That's really morbid. Okay, that's fine.
This one's a human bone, but we do not talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You just sit, and I will.
Holy fuck.
Okay, so okay,
Austin.
so let's.
Austin.
No panic.
Austin.
Yes. What?
I'm scared.
Yes, me too. I'm shaking. So
It's like the gross stuffing is its right hand and the mashed potatoes are its left arm and its head is just a pie. His head's the pie, Austin. His head's the pie.
okay, so now
With a
it's-
turkey ham body. I've never seen a morph of a turkey and a ham created into one body before.
Yeah, it is. It is walking on those powerful ham haunches, like, and it's and the thing
terrifying.
is, so I think we're always going to be in reach, right? Because it's got its like stuffing gooey
Stuffing
arms.
arm and its
like
sweet
those are
potatoes
going
arm.
to extend. I see some cannons on the front. I have to imagine those are what launches the rolls, right?
I do have to assume it's what launches rolls. I thought rolls and mashed potatoes were on our side.
Apparently they've been subsumed to the collective, and now, I guess so will we. Unless we figure out a way to. How do you take on? Now, I was okay fighting each dish individually, but I don't know about all of them all at once, all in one collective. I have a plan.
Okay.
Alright,
Hit me with the plan.
Just follow my lead.
You are okay. I am going. Oh, this does not turn out well when we start with this.
Okay. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, great Thanksgiving Overlord.
Yes, our wonderful new edible overlord.
Yes. We wish to serve you willingly, with no conflict and no need for violence.
You say this as if you had a choice in the first place. As if you could even fathom to defeat the great Thanksgiving Overlord.
Yes, of course, which is why we're on the same page. We agree, we concur. I go willingly as is expected.
We have reached a consensus. You will be worthy subjects.
That's great, thank you. Well, what's the first order of business?
Come here and kneel before us.
Okay, Aubrey. We're in. Now we just gotta find our moment, and then we strike when its back is turned after we've gained its trust. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's go kneel, I guess.
Okay, yes, we'll kneel. Oh, great one, yes, we are in your debt. Service. What would you ask of us?
The same thing you have asked from us year after year. To be consumed.
Wait, what?